Welcome back to my kitchen for another recipe video. Today I'm excited to share with you how to make this entire plant-based Christmas dinner, with the star of the show obviously being this vegan Wellington. It is absolutely incredible and really not that difficult to make, but I'll also show you how to make these roasted veggies and salad to make an absolutely delicious holiday meal. This vegan Wellington is great for vegans, but also non-vegans as well. It has an amazing meaty texture and it's just got so many flavors packed into there that remind you exactly of the holidays. So as usual, the recipe will be in the description box down below. So you might have noticed I'm wearing a new Christmas sweater after I think I probably hacked up that last one a little too much over the years. So this one is like a jacked reindeer, and it's got the saying on it, "Make it rain, dear." So just before we get started with the video, I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, Gem, who make these amazing Eat Your Calm Chill Out Magnesium Bites that I've really been enjoying lately, and they've really been helping me out. So life gets pretty hectic, especially around the holidays, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I have trouble just kicking back and relaxing and chilling out. And I know it might not look like it, but there's actually a lot going on in this head up here. But thankfully I found these Chill Out Bites by Gem, and these are actually really cool. They're made with real food ingredients like lemon balm, which relieves symptoms of stress, magnesium, which helps you relax your body, and golden chlorella, which contain B vitamins like folate. And these bites taste really good. They're soft, a little chewy, nutty tasting with just the right amount of sweetness, which makes them so easy to eat. What makes these bites special is that Gem delivers its nutrients through real food, making it easy for your body to absorb. They don't contain any synthetic fillers, just wholesome, bioavailable nutrients that help me feel my best and relax when I need it. At the end of the day, I love just chilling out on the couch, kicking back and enjoying a couple of these and enjoying the relaxation that it gives me. They won't make you drowsy, which is great. It means you can enjoy them at any time during the day, and it just helps me to feel calm, focused, relaxed, and quiet all that excess noise from my head that it just isn't necessary at the end of the day. I just want to chill out and relax. So right now, Gem is offering my audience 50% off their first month, so definitely check out the link down below or go to dailygem.com/Derek and use my discount code Derek at checkout for the discount. All right, so let's get into this Wellington. So the first thing we have to do is make the filling for it. This is kind of like the meat. It's really not that hard, but there are a few steps, so let's start. So the first thing we're gonna do is cook 1 cup of green lentils in 2 cups of veggie broth. All right, so while that's cooking, we're gonna chop up some veggies to saute. Start with the onion and garlic. So chop up the onion and the garlic and add that to the saute pan. And we're gonna be cooking that in a little bit of this vegan Miyoko's butter. While we're waiting for the onions and garlic to cook, I'm gonna take this time and chop up 2 carrots, and 2 sticks of celery. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, we need to peel and chop an apple as well. Once you're done chopping that, it should be perfect timing to add those to the onions. While that's cooking, you want to go ahead and add some spices. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of dried rosemary, and 1 teaspoon of poultry spice. So let's check back on the lentils, and by now they should have absorbed all the water, and maybe just give them a quick taste test just to make sure that they're fully cooked. And then if they are, just add them to all the veggies, stir all that around, and just cook everything until it's nice and soft. So next we're gonna make a binder for everything. So we're gonna be making a flax egg. So what I have here is just a small bowl with 3 tablespoons of water, and to that I'm gonna be adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. All right, so I've got the food processor out. Things are getting pretty serious around here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add all this stuff that we just cooked to the food processor. So now I'm just gonna finish off this filling with some more yummy things. So I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of cranberries, and these are dried and sweetened cranberries. That flax egg that we made, and then 1/4 cup of rolled oats blended into oat flour, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, a teaspoon of miso paste. So this is gonna give it a nice umami flavor, but if you don't have any miso paste, you can just add a little bit more salt, which we will be adding at the end. 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, and then I'm gonna be adding a cup of roasted walnuts. So I've already gone ahead and roasted these in the oven. Doesn't take very long, just like 5 minutes or so at 400 degrees, just to bring out some of the natural nuttiness of them. And then just a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Pulse it in the food processor until everything is well combined. So you don't want it like totally pureed, but you don't want it to be like huge chunks either, kind of in the middle somewhere. So when it's done, it should kind of like hold together a little bit. You can kind of see here how, yeah, kind of like holds together like that. That is kind of what you want. So I'm just gonna transfer it into another container here so that it can cool. So I'm actually gonna be popping it in the fridge as well. So while the filling is cooling in the fridge, we're gonna make another layer to put into this Wellington. And we're gonna start by sauteing some more onion. Fire that into a preheated saucepan. And while that's cooking, you're gonna wanna chop up 3 cups of mushrooms. Once they're cooked, just get those out of the pan and then switch them in for the mushrooms and cook those down until they're nice and soft as well. Once the mushrooms are cooked, just add them to the bowl with the onions and then put those aside to cool. So while the stuff for the Wellington is chilling in the fridge, let's chop up some veggies to roast along with it. So you can obviously chop and roast any veggies you want, but I'm gonna keep this one pretty simple and just start with some potatoes. So I'm gonna chop these up a little bit smaller than I usually would for roasted potatoes. I'm gonna make them about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch chunks, just so that everything takes the same amount of time to cook. Next, some carrots into similarly sized pieces. And then I'm just gonna halve these Brussels sprouts. So this actually made more than I thought it was going to, so I'm just gonna split it up into 2 bowls here so it's easier to mix everything together. So I'm just gonna throw a little bit of olive oil on there just to help everything cook up. You guys know I don't cook with a lot of oil usually, but you know, on holidays and stuff like that, it's all right. And especially if this is gonna be going to like a family dinner or something, like you want it to be as good as it can be. A little bit of maple syrup. This is how you make vegetables a little bit more palatable for the whole family. I brought this to family dinners before, and after everyone tries it, they're always asking me to bring it back the next year. And then just some seasoning. So I've got some onion powder, actually granulated onion, but onion powder will be fine too. Granulated garlic, and some black pepper. And then just fire that into a big baking dish. So I'm gonna add some salt to this, but not until the end. If you add it during cooking, it kind of gets lost. So that's why I'm gonna add it right at the end. So the reason why you wanna make sure that everything is completely cool is because we are going to be putting it all into some pastry. So this is puff pastry. This is like just some pretty generic stuff you can find in the grocery store. It is vegan friendly. You could make your own if you want, but apparently it's very difficult to do. And if you can find one that's like healthier and more holistic than this, then definitely get it. But this is the only one that I could find. So before I roll out the pastry, I'm just gonna put it aside for a quick second and roll the filling into sort of like a loaf shape, just so that it's nice and ready once the pastry is all rolled out. It should be really easy to form it into a loaf. This just took like 2 seconds. So now I'm just gonna roll out that pastry, and I've got a rolling pin here, and I'm gonna do my best to make it like a nice big rectangle shape because we are gonna be covering the loaf in this. So this is the part that takes a little bit of skill. You can see that I've rolled this out and it's pretty much the size of the cutting board, like it is really big. So I'm just gonna cut off a little slice on the side here because I wanna put some little accents on it once it's done. So I'm hoping I don't regret this, but I think this is a big enough piece to cover everything. The mushrooms and onions go down in a layer. And now the loaf. Looking good. Okay, this side over. So at this point, I'm just gonna brush on a little bit of soy milk just to help both sides stick together. Compact everything together. I was stressing there for a second, but I think it's gonna work. And then for the ends, you just don't want too much of the pastry like bunching up together. So I'm just gonna go like this, fold this over. You wanna keep everything as tight as you can so you get some nice slices out of it. And then pull this up. And then a little bit more of this soy milk to get it all sticking. So you don't have to do this part, but what I'm gonna do is flip it upside down just so you don't see all the seams and everything once it's done cooking. Okay, this is looking great. It looks like a big burrito. So it'd be fine to put in the oven like this, but I'm actually gonna make it a little fancier. We had this suggestion come from a friend of ours that's like a chef, and he's like, why don't you cut out some leaves and put them on the top? So I was like, yeah, easier said than done, but I'll try it. So here we go. I have no idea what I'm doing. They're just like ellipses, you know? It's not a leaf. We'll try, we're this far now. And then the last step, I'm just gonna brush it with some melted vegan butter because if you don't do this, it won't brown up very nice. So you wanna get something on there with some fat, some olive oil or something like that would probably work as well. So now we're just gonna bake this masterpiece at 400 degrees for about 50 minutes. And I'm gonna put that in, but I'm also gonna put the veggies in at the same time. All right, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna throw together a nice salad. This is gonna be a little fancier than just your typical garden salad because this is what we do around the holidays. We make things fancy, extra special, especially if we have some family over or friends and we're all enjoying it together. So let's get going with this salad. In a large bowl, I'm just gonna add a whole bunch of mixed greens, then add a little bit of your favorite light dressing to the salad and just mix that up so it coats all the leaves. I actually didn't measure anything out to make this dressing, but it's really easy. Just some water, tahini, maple syrup, some brown mustard, some apple cider vinegar, a bit of garlic powder, some onion powder, then just a pinch of salt, and give it a good whisk. This actually turned out really well. It was perfect. And then I'm just gonna add some dried and sweetened cranberries on top. And then ahead of time, I made some of these candied pecans, and I'm just gonna chop these up and throw those on there. To make them, it's really easy. I just cooked some pecans in a saute pan with some maple syrup for a few minutes. Next, I'm gonna add some mandarin orange slices. So if you want, and you wanna make it like extra fancy and nice to eat for everybody, you could take the skin off of each slice of orange, and it does take a while, but you do get like a really nice piece of orange once you're done. But you also don't have to do that. You can just chop them up and throw them in there. And then I'm just gonna crumble some of this Violife feta on there as well. Ooh, okay. Look at that. We lost a few of our leaves, and you know what I think happened was I didn't like glue them on with anything, so they're just, okay, well, I tried. They kind of burned too. So I don't know if the leaves part is necessary. There we go, look at that. No one has to know. But it looks great though otherwise. Like, look at that nice crisp crust to it. It browned up like perfectly. All right, so I'm gonna put this aside and just let it rest for a few minutes. I think they're almost done. I'm just gonna give them a quick stir and then throw them back in for 10 minutes. It worked. Look how good that looks. Oh man. All right, so let's get everything plated up. So it's looking pretty good. I'm actually just gonna add a little bit of gravy to it as well. It's gonna go great on the veggies here. And this is a gravy from my second recipe ebook, Easy Vegan Comfort Meals. It's really good, pretty easy to make too. So I'm gonna cut into the Wellington and try this first. Wow. That is incredible. The crust is like so nice and light and flaky, and then the inside, it's got like a great meaty texture to it, especially from the mushrooms. You don't really taste the mushrooms a lot. You kind of just taste all the different herbs and spices and everything that are in there. It just tastes like the holidays. Man, is that ever good. Wow. Quick bite of the salad. Try and get a little of everything in there. Wow, it's really good as well. The sweetness from the candied pecans and that crunch is just so good, combined with the creaminess of the feta and then the citrus like flavors that you get from the orange and that nice dressing. Man, that is one good salad. And now the roasted veggies with that gravy on there. Amazing. So good. Nobody's going to be missing meat on this plate. You do not need it when you have something that is this good. All right, so I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this. I guess that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from Crystal and I hope you have a great holiday season surrounded by lots of family, with lots of love, and obviously lots of good food as well. So just a reminder, the recipe is in the description box down below, and thank you all so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye. If you want to make your healthy meals taste even better, check out my latest recipe ebook, Easy Vegan Dressings and Sauces. There's 35 amazing oil-free recipes in there that are sure to transform any meal. There's a link in the description box down below.